So the iOS 18 was finally announced today at WWDC event 2024, and there is a lot to talk about the very same thing in this video. And this is not only the biggest updates that we have seen from Apple in a very long time, but this is also one of a very important update because we have got a lot of new AI features on the iOS 18, and this will make it a direct competitor to something like the Google Pixel 8 Pro and even the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, because yes, all these new crazy AI features are just very important, and these are one of the best implementations that you can get in any smartphone today. But yes, let us talk about all those new features including the AI features in this video. And without wasting any time, I just want to start with the customizations on the iPhone. And I know again a lot of people would argue that the customizations is something that is available on Android since I would say Android 2 or 3 or something. But yes, customizations are finally possible on the Apple iOS 18 devices as well, but they are not very much different from what your Android smartphones were able to do from years now. And even a lot of those new features that came with the Android, the material UI that Android published a few years ago. But yes, I would say it is a pretty solid upgrade because now you can customize the icons on your screen to make it into a dark mode or the light mode, or even just place the icons anywhere in the screen. And that is basically what Android is able to do from years now. But Apple just made it a very huge headline, and they did not say that you can change color on the icons, but what they said is that you can change the tint on the icons, and original color of the icons would be according to the wallpaper in the background, just like what Android is able to do as well. But they mentioned tint instead of saying that you can just change the colors on the icons and personalize it. So yes, this is something that is not very different from Android, but something that you would be able to enjoy on the Apple iOS devices as well. So yes, the biggest complaint that Apple has just addressed of a lot of people, that you are just not able to customize the Apple smartphones in the very same way that you are able to do with the Android smartphone, even though that you were able to customize the Apple smartphone with shortcuts from quite a few years now. But yes, you can finally do it in a very simple way, just like what you would do on Android as well, and that too in the dark mode improvements as well. Now the second major change over here is in the terms of the advanced control center settings that we have got on the iOS 18, and this will allow you to have something that is called as the swipeable pages that seamlessly navigate between multiple pages of control center and toggles for enhanced accessibility. Now Apple has also included a new API for the developers to just make their own control center icons, so that maybe, for example, if you own a Tesla and if you just want to have a toggle on the control center to just start or stop the car, this would be exactly that you would be able to do with this new control center API. If you're a developer, you can just develop the very same thing, and people can just leverage the use of it and use the very same thing and customize the way that they want their control center application to just look like. And also you can do the very same thing on the lock screen as well. So the icons that you see on the lock screen, you can just swap them with the icons that you really want, and this makes the Apple iOS just way much more customizable. So if you do not want to get stuck with this flash icon and the camera icon, you can just change it with something like a Snapchat icon or the messaging application or the notes application and so much. So yes, there is some serious support for customization on the latest iOS 18, which is unheard of from Apple. Now these customizations means that Apple has included a lot of security features in the customizations as well on the iOS 18, because yes, now we can just hide any application from anyone, and we can just make a separate folder for the hidden applications on the iOS 18, which is again something that has been borrowed from the Android smartphone, but yet again one simple implementation that will change the way that Apple users are used to use their iPhones. Because say for example that you're using an application like Tinder or Bumble, and you do not want your parents to look the very same thing on your home screen, and you just do not want to delete and install that very same application every time, you can put it under the hidden folder, and it will just prevent anyone to get through it until it passes a user verification. And this can be done on a selected apps as well. And also with this new iOS 18, you have got control of that what people do you want to show your updated information in the terms of the contact and all the other information that you want to be shared and the information that you do not want to be shared. So yes, the privacy is a major major thing that has been updated on the iOS 18, and this is something that I just really love. So now the next major thing that has got a big overhaul is the iMessages application on the iOS 18, and this is again something that is very amazing. Now you have got some new updated features like the updated tab packs that will allow you to put any emoji, or I would say react with any emoji in the tab pack responses, adding a touch of personalization to the messages. And also you can create your own emojis using AI, and also use the contact profile picture to be able to make some kind of emoji or the tab pack that you can send to the other person over there. And this is again something that I just love. Now another thing is that sometimes you are in a meeting and you just remember something very important and you just want to send a message but not at the very same time, or in the other ways I can say that you just want to schedule a message for the next day, and you can do the very same thing in the updated iMessages application as well, because now the new iOS 18, it allows you to schedule message for a future delivery, ensuring the timely communication even when you are busy. Now another important update is that now you can use the Apple satellite feature to be able to send a message at the times when you are not able to call because of there is no signal over there. But yes, you can use the messaging application, and whenever you see the satellite icon, that means that you can send a message to a person in emergency, and the other person would just receive the iMessage even though that there is basically no signal on your iPhone, which is another great thing. Now also there is something that a lot of people would hate, but yes, RCS support is finally there on the iOS 18, and this was the long awaited thing. And even though that Apple did not want to mention this thing and they just mentioned in a very short bit, I would say this is something that was necessary, and this will end a long time conversation that we were having from in the past. Now the next big thing that I was particularly excited about on the iOS 18 was the game mode, and we finally have it here. Now this is something that is again very similar to what the Android smartphones are able to do, which means that you will be able to suppress some of the tasks in the background and the unnecessary notifications that does not allow you to play well, and also it will increase the frame rates in a lot of the games that you are used to play. So particularly I would say this is a win-win situation for the Apple iOS 18 devices or anything that just supports the iOS 18. Now another thing over here is that we will get a major upgrade in the terms of the email application, and now we can just categorize everything in the terms of the shopping emails or the other primary emails, or something that is just like a focus mode for an email application that will just categorize everything into different sections on your email application, just like what you see on the Yahoo emails or even on the Gmail. That is something that you just see with the latest updates on these other platforms as well. So something that I was looking for and something that is amazing. Now the next major overhaul is in the terms of the Photos application, because yes, now you can also edit the images just like what you can do on your Google smartphone, and you can also use your Photos application and use the AI to just remove the objects from the background. And yet again, a lot has been changed over here because of the all new revamped UI that we got on this Photos application that allows you to navigate your photo library with ease, and that is thanks to the improved face sorting and the pin collections that we got to see with this new major update over here. Now also there is something that is very similar to what we saw on the Google Photos application, because now this new Photos application, it allows you to automatically group people and the pet in the terms of their faces, and this is again something that was available in the Android smartphone from a very long time, but this is again the same thing that you can do in the Photos application, and this is one major thing. Now the next thing is a series of the Apple Intelligence things that we got on the iOS 18. So yes, a lot of AI features that we will see on the iOS 18 when this thing will be finally here. Now the first thing is the comprehensive AI integration that will allow iOS to understand your personal context for smarter notification and the personalized notification, and it will just prioritize everything on the lock screen. So the things that are something that are very important that you will see in the priority notifications, and the ones that are not, you will just not see over there. So something that you need to keep in mind. Now the next biggest overall over here is in the terms of what Siri would be able to do, because yes, Siri would be much more intelligent with iOS 18 thanks to all those LLA and the LLM models that will be included into the iOS 18, and yes, it will be integrated in almost every application on the iOS 18, which is another great thing, because now you would be able to just ask Siri to open the Photos application and maybe edit a photograph, or maybe you would ask Siri to make notes for you, or maybe help you with some kind of a recording of a lecture or something, because yes, everything would be just possible inside of all those particular applications, just because Siri is now integrated with the LLM and the LLM models. And for the things that would just not be possible on Siri on the board, it would just make use of ChatGPT, that would again ask you for a prompt to use the ChatGPT or no, and you just do not need to log in into the ChatGPT, but you would be able to use the very same thing on your Apple iOS 18 devices and make use of ChatGPT, the language 4 model as of now, to be able to get some prompt answers. And that is something again which is very amazing. You just do not need to pay for any extra subscription over here to be able to use ChatGPT with Siri, because it has made everything so much more easy. Now also, Siri would allow you to customize the emojis as well with the help of the Gen emojis, and this is again one of the things that you would be able to use with the tap back feature on the iMessages as well. And you would be able to use all those new emojis that you create yourself using the Gen emojis, and that would be able to create some new emojis for you every time. And now the next thing is the voice memos and the phone application, because transcriptions and call recordings are now coming to the iOS 18 as well, with the automatic transcription improving accessibility and organization. Again, the email notifications will get a major update as well, because now you can prioritize email notifications intelligently and ensuring that you just do not or never miss an important email, and it will just show you all the important emails to you. And that would be all according to how you are using the device or how you set this feature over here on the iOS 18. Now, another thing is the image generation in the iMessages. That is again one new feature that we are getting. Now, App Actions via Siri is again something that will let Siri perform actions within the applications on your behalf, streamlining tasks and saving the time. And this is something that would be similar to what you were able to do with the shortcut application, just creating different action for different kind of things. And again, this is something that is very popular in the terms of the AI world these days. And this is again something that is a time saver for people who just do not want to open each and every application every time, and they can just automate the very same thing by making an action over here. Now, the next major improvements on the iOS 18 is in the terms of the air proofreading and also the writing assistance, just like what you have got on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra in the terms of the Notes application, which is another one great application that I really love about that smartphone. But over here on the iOS 18, we will get even better features, because we have some great features like grammar and style check that will utilize AI to provide real-time grammar and style suggestions as you type, and ensuring a clearer and more professional communication. And also it will translate different messages and the emails in the desired language that you would want to be, just like again what you're able to do on the Google Pixel 8 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So another set of great features that you are getting with iOS 18 on the latest update over here. Now, the major thing is that iOS 18 is a very capable software update that we have seen today, and also Siri is getting a major overhaul. And the best part is that Siri would be able to recognize your speech, and also it will be able to give you some prompt answer, not just like what it used to be in the past. And it will also be able to take the conversations to a next level, just because of the new LLM and the LLM models. That is something that I was just looking for from Siri. And again, this iOS 18, it has got a lot of customizations which make this thing a very much direct competitor to Android now, and there are just less of the differences between both of those devices. So I would say Apple is becoming more like Android, but more like a polished version of the very same thing. And there we have it, all the features that I thought were worth mentioning over here in this video. And even though a lot of those features were very similar to what we already have on the Android smartphone, I just think it is not a bad thing at all. I think for the people who just love their Apple smartphones, they will just have a lot more features that the Android smartphones had from a lot of years, and that is really a good thing. And that was all about this video. My name is Anshul. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.